Let's talk about demo fees. Now, if you're not aware of what a demo fee is, it's just a fancy way of saying if, let's say, a library wants to hire you to potentially send a custom cue for an advertising, program, or basically a commercial or some sort of a campaign where they need a custom piece of music. Well, if you don't get the gig, sometimes they'll offer what is called a demo fee, which is just basically a, hey, thanks for submitting. We didn't take your track, but here's $100, maybe even more, $200. Sometimes it's just $50, but it's just something to say, listen, I know you put in work into this opportunity. We're not going to take the track. You can take that track and go do anything else you want to do with it, but thanks for submitting, and here's a little bit of money for your effort and your time, essentially. So the question is, when do you demand that, or when should you ask for that? When is it offered? And how does that side of the industry work? And when do you know if if you should be getting one, and what kind of opportunities provide for demo fees? So let me break it down a little bit. In my experience, that if there is an opportunity that pays you $1,500 to $2,000 or less, most of the time they do not offer a demo fee. It's because the budget is already low enough that if they're having, let's say, 2 or 3 people submit a couple of tracks each, let's say even just 2 tracks each, and there's 3 of us doing it, that's 6 tracks right there. If they're going to give everybody $100 per track, that's $600 right out the door for not music they're going to actually use. So, and their budget's is only, let's say, $2,000. That's almost a third of their budget. They're just not going to probably have that kind of extra cash to be able to provide those kind of demo fees. Now, once you break the $2,000 mark, and there's nothing hard and fast, these aren't like rules or guidelines of the industry. I'm just telling you from my experience what I've noticed, that once you get into the 3, 4, 5,000, even above, those kind of ranges for opportunities, a lot of the times they're going to offer demo fees. Now, if you get picked to submit for some sort of opportunity that's paying $2,000 or above for a custom cue for the we're just talking about upfront consideration fees, right? This may or may not include back-end royalties. Sometimes it's a complete buyout where they're going to take all the copyrights and the back-end royalties, and you're not going to get anything. You're just going to get that one-time upfront fee, which again, $5,000 for one song. Are you going to say no to that because you want to get the back-end royalties? I wouldn't. I'd take it $5,000 for one track any day of the week. But anyways, if you're going to be offered an opportunity with that big of a budget, right, $2,000 or more, and they don't initially tell you about a demo fee, I would always ask, right? And you don't say, give me a demo fee or I demand a demo fee, but just ask them, hey, is it possible to get a demo fee with this gig, just in case, if it's going to be a lot of work, it's going to take me away from other opportunities, and other opportunities I could actually be making passive income royalties, and maybe this one is only an upfront fee, and it's not really guaranteed that I'm going to get it. Obviously, most custom cues, that's kind of how it is. It's either you competing with a couple of guys, and if it's just you, sometimes they might say like, close, but give us another one, and it might actually be a lot of work where you have to go back and forth with the client. So it's going to be a bit of a commitment in terms of time. So there's nothing wrong with asking for it and just saying, hey, is there a demo fee associated with this? If they say no, and it's a large budget opportunity, and they're just not going to be able to provide a demo fee for you, here's what you got to weigh. What else could you be doing with your time? And that's what I always think about. If I get offered upfront gigs that pay just a one-time fee, and it's a healthy amount, but maybe it's not like a very impressive amount, I'm always weighing, okay, now let's say it's a gig that's going to pay me $1,000 for one song or something like that. I'm always thinking about, okay, how long will it take me to knock out that cue? Is it just a day? Would it take me 2 or 3 days? How intense is this going to be? And what would I be doing in that time if I said no to that upfront cue? Could I be making tracks for a library that's getting me consistent placements, that's getting those passive income royalties that are going to get much larger potentially than $1,000? And you obviously have to build up confidence with the companies and the people that you're working with in this business. So it's sort of always a give and take. Now, if you have nothing going on, right, and you don't have any libraries you're submitting to, and you don't really have a lot of opportunities happening right now, and a custom cue comes your way, and they don't offer a demo fee, well, what are you going to do with your time other than submit for this opportunity? You're going to, I guess, build up a catalog and shop it to somebody else. You can do that. But if you have an opportunity right in front of you, and even if there's no demo fee associated with it, I would probably still go for it, because, hey, it still might provide a relationship moving forward. This might be a new company you're working with. You might not get the gig, but they might think wow, but they delivered 3 tracks in a couple of days, or 2 high quality tracks, and they have some great quality stuff, then maybe we can build a relationship with them moving forward. So you got to remember that there's always a long-term angle when you're working with anybody in this business. It's not just about what the paycheck is for this particular opportunity, but if you become reliable, you always provide consistent, high-quality music, and you're fairly readily available to work even on short deadlines, people will remember that, right? You're going to be somebody that's on their short list of people they're going to call when these kind of opportunities show up. So demo fees are great, and I always appreciate it when I get offered them. They're really, really nice. But obviously, you're not going to be making a living off of demo fees. I mean, we're talking about literally $100, maybe $200. I mean, I've had a demo fee as high as $400 before. That's the highest I've ever gotten for just like, hey, thanks for putting this together. Didn't get it. You know, that was a nice chunk of change, right? So I'm not like sneering at it or thinking that I'm too good for $400. $400 is a lot of money. It's great. But I'm just saying that like I won't be making a living just getting a $400 check here and there from people, right? That's not going to provide you for passive income that'll be able to sustain you for years and years. You got to go for the passive income royalties in the long run. But demo fees are awesome when they're provided, if they're provided. But always when you're going to decide which gigs you're going to go forward with, which gigs you're not, always weigh it against what else is going on in your career. And sometimes it is the best thing to say no, to say like, sorry, got to move on. You know, I got other things I got to work on. I have other passive income, interest opportunities that I could be working on. And what you will find, I mean, I know if you're brand new in this business, you probably feel like you're a million miles away from that point in your career, but there will be a point in your career where you have to start saying no to certain gigs, okay? Not all ones that you feel like, you're just too good at. I still take gigs that probably I'm not that enthused about, but I'm like, I want to keep that client happy though. I want that client to always know, because once in a while they get a big fish, and I want that big fish to come my way when it comes. So when they offer me the not so exciting ones or maybe lower budget ones, I'll still do it, right? Because I know that it's a long-term game. But there will be times where you have to start making standards for yourself to realize like, well, I have other opportunities, other relationships I could be fostering, and if this is going to take me away from better passive income or longer term relationship building with these people, if you're catching my drift here, you really have to think about this in terms of long term. And there are certain gigs you should be saying no to, right? The ones that are like, oh, we're going to give you exposure for this, right? You're going to get so much, no money at all, and there's no passive income, but you're going to get a placement on a great hit TV show. I don't know. How valuable is that to you? It's not that valuable to me, honestly. I don't care about, for myself personally, maybe for you, you have different priorities. I'm not judging that, but I could care less about publicity. I could care less about getting a lot of notoriety for my placements or whatever. I just want to have solid relationships. I want to earn my royalties. Telling people that I have music on TV is cool. It's fun or whatever. But like I've said, 1,000 times already, my payment is making music. Like I like getting into my studio, just making cool music, and working for an industry that just allows me to do that full time. That's what I'm in this for. So, but anyways, I don't want to get into another rant. That's what I want to talk about in today's video about demo fees.